Alright boys, this is Spot These Nuts, or whatever the hell my name is these days. I thought I'd do something different this time. I'll try post commentary on this game on the 122 TM. This is one of my favorite tanks actually. It's somewhat slow. It's got a lot of armor though. It's one of the, I would say, one of the best premium medium tanks on tier 8. It's got an excellent gun, although it does have a very long reload. That's why, because of the speed and all that, that's why I use it with turbo. I also use vents on it to improve a little bit everything on the tank. And then rammer, because it does have a long reload as well. Now it does have a 1 to 2 millimeter gun, which means I can overmatch quite a few tanks. But for now, we're sitting here behind the tree, a tree that I actually don't see used too often. And it helps us spot the guys that are coming from the enemy side. So for now we're just spotting, taking pot shots if we can, but spotting mainly. I don't have full view range because the tank does not have a good base view range, but I guess this will do for now. So we see the Tiger II approaching on the left. By the way, you can see on the north side of the map that we have 2 tier 8 heavy tanks and a non-turreted tier 7, I think, tank destroyer. Not a good setup on the north. Also, you can see the enemy 705 was just spotted there in the north, along with a Patton tank. So they have 2 tier 9s there in the north. Not a good thing. 777 also spotted on the north. Very bad setup, which you'll see later actually does have dire consequences. We also have an IS-2M, tier 7 heavy tank, I think. But anyway, we're slow, so there's nothing we can do there. And besides, we're spotting here. We're being useful for now. We don't have really clear shots on the heavies there. I can go through the front of the Tiger II turret with the heat, which, by the way, is very slow compared to the APCR, the standard APCR in this tank, which is extremely fast, which also adds to the good feeling of the gun handling. You just have to aim fully and you're very likely to connect with this tank. Anyway, the first one I missed on the Tiger, but as you can see, the second one I didn't. We're just waiting for the IS-3 to get confident. We can easily go through the front of this tank with heat. We can also do it with APCR, but since we're already loaded heat and the reload is so long, we might as well use it. And there it goes, second heavy tank. Now, I did get spotted here by the turtle. I was hoping all along that the Indian Panzer wouldn't peek on the right, because he would likely see the back of my tank. So that was fortunate while I was farming the heavies. But now the turtle is within line of sight. So, alright, now we have to deep down here on the left side, creep over to see if we can get a shot on the Indian or something. But as you can see, he's on the far side, so we have so we won't be able to get shots on him just now. You can see also the Centurion got shot for 500 and something, which means it wasn't the turtle that shot him. Something likely with long reload, so that I take that time to go behind the type and use him as cover. I think that likely was the Govika that shot him. Not too sure, to be honest. Could have been the Borsig as well, and that shot my Centurion for almost 600 damage. And now you'll see me pathetically miss a lot of shots here on the Indian. Now, one of the reasons I'm not picking as wide as I need to is because they have the middle and they have the north. So I cannot peek too high here on the ridge, because I might get shot from the swamp. Second shot, very bad aim, and I pay for it. 219 by the Indian Panzer, which is shooting heat. I mean APCR, his gold rounds. Now I need to just aim carefully, because I know his cupola is large, and he's dead. Now, I try to pick here in front, because I think I might have a shot on the setter here on the right side. But I quickly noticed that he's already behind cover. He's behind the rock there. So there's nothing for me to do here. If I keep going forward, I'm gonna get proxy spotted by the Super Hellcat or the T-43, and then I'm easy shots for the button, the tank, and possibly the heavies on the north. So I don't do that. I go back. I can see that my TNH is going towards the edge of the balcony, which is a very bad idea. He's gonna get farmed by the very same guys I'm worried about. So I fall back, try to go around, try to tell him to fall back. He doesn't listen, obviously. Now he does get a kill on the T-43, I believe. Yeah, there it goes. But that's about as much as he's gonna do. Now you can see the Super Hellcat there on our base, and the Scorpion have no chance against two tier 9 heavies. Thankfully we catch the Super Hellcat here, kill him for free. And now I'm waiting to get unspotted. I know that the tank can spot me once I try to go right and try to set the base. In fact, I do believe he spots me in a few seconds here. I peek over to see if he's still there. You can see my 6th sense goes off, which means he's there. So that means I have to go wide. Now thankfully you can see that there's a little bit of a dip here in the terrain. And also there's a rock between the Patton the tank and myself. So I try to use both to creep over onto the cap, which is currently being captured by one of the heavies. You can see Patton got spotted roughly where I thought he would be, in the middle of the swamp. And I saw that both of the heavies are low HP, so I might be able to do something about them. Now thankfully the 705 goes aggressively towards our forces, which gives us a very easy side shot here with heat. So we shoot once, he has to fall back, he has no choice. He even aims at us and tries to snap us on the move. Now something about the 705, he does have very thin roof armor. So that means that we can easily pen him here, there, at the top of the turret. Now I don't know whether that's overmatch or just the penetration of my heat rounds, not exactly what the mechanics there are, but bottom line is you can easily pen that guy on the roof if you have a slightly elevated position in relation to him, just as I did. Now again, I'm going wide here because we have the rocks, we have a little bit of a defilade here. Once I have line of sight on the Patton, I'm planning to shoot him here on the left side, and I cannot go any further because it's very likely that there's tank destroyers and whatnot on the balcony. So once I get my shot here on the Patton the tank, I wait for a little bit to see if I see, I don't know, maybe someone shooting, I see the ground splashing with a round or whatnot, and waiting to get unspotted as well. Now if the Patton the tank had stayed there, I actually would not have been able to push. He made a mistake by going all the way to the right. So it gives me free reign to move forward. I know that the 777 is a one-shot for me. I have heat loaded. There he is. Patton the tank tries to shoot me from the back. He misses, thankfully. And now here I just take the shot. I don't care. I'm about to die anyway. And I have to get him off the cap so I can reposition quickly because Patton the tank is already behind me, right on my heels. I make it like I'm going to the corner, but I go somewhere else. I'm going to try to use the wreck of the 777 to cover the front of my tank. I also have to be mindful of the right side, although enemies are much more likely to come from the front. In any way, you're always better served to be prepared for every possible scenario. Now I have a problem here. The fact that the bush here on the right side is covering the corner, it makes it impossible for me to see whether they actually going to be pushing on the right side, because Patton the tank could be doing that right now. So I try to push the wreckage forward so I can sort of get out of the way that the bush gets some line of sight on the right side. Although I can see Patton the tank here on the right side ready, or rather on my front now, so I don't have to worry about the bush for a while now, since the other tanks they have are somewhat slow. Here Patton the tank goes aggressive, which is a good play by him. I try to go for a cheeky snap on the turret, which actually works somehow on the gigantic cupola it has. Now I stay here in the corner. That's my best bet for now. Try to go hold down with this tank, which actually does have quite large cupolas, but not many people try to aim for it. Turtle just did and failed. 705 is a little bit scared. I try to go back to try to get my bearings, although I found the Govika which thankfully is in long range, which means it's gonna do less alpha. Now I do sink a hit round on the turtle, and that's about it. I raise my gun and take it like a man. And that's how the cookie crumbles. Decent game actually, but unfortunately my team wasn't as prepared as I was. Anyway, I'm gonna try to do a couple more of these to see if it actually drives the numbers up. I don't really do this for the numbers, but it's a good experiment for me. Maybe someday I'll do live commentary, but for now, it's something else.